Hello, Queen. Hello, Queens. Thank you for inspiring me for this recording, because one of you said about childhood traumas holding you back from self-love. Correct. Why are you holding those traumas? No, seriously. Yes, Queen. Traumas can hold us back, stop us rebuilding love wall from outside love, from our self-love. So how to heal that? Okay. Well, the easiest way, obviously, it's have a mentor, have a coach, a spiritual guides, energy healers, many ways of doing it. Somebody guide you to that. Okay, I'm able to guide myself or guide others simply because I went through so much of traumas, let's say karma. I went through a lot of karma, bad karma. Whoever knows numerology, my number is 16. I was born 1609, so not only 16 as a karmical number, 1 plus 6 is a lot of thinking about that, so that's how I managed to heal. And my number is 9 as well, September, so it means 9 is completion of your karma. So yes, I completed a lot of karma. So whoever is 16 September knows, and I know one lady, Marcinia mate. So okay, I know a lot about traumas. Okay, a lot. Not the huge one, but a lot of small ones, so variation. They got so many variation. Whoever's got the childhood traumas, I will invite for conversation. Okay, now how to heal it, how to heal that trauma. First of all is identify what happened. Okay, so the oldest trauma was when I was 2. I was with my brother. He was crying. I knew that crying is annoying because he was crying 24/7 a lot. I was 2 years old. I put dirty cloth in his mouth. My mom came. She didn't even react. She got scared because he stopped crying. She never reacted when he was crying. She was reacting when he stopped crying. Try imagine that. She grabbed him, and I knew that point I need to be punished. But she punished me the way there was a silence. Okay, and because there was a silence, basically, for me, silence was a punishment. Okay, so if you treat me not sending messages, not talking to me, withholding communication, that's all would be punishment for me. Any silence is a punishment. So I couldn't be even with myself. Like, I would have to entertain myself all the time because silence was like scarcity. Silence was like big punishment. Why would I punish myself with silence? Whoever would punish me with the silence or no communication, that would be a big thing for me. Okay, and how I healed that? First of all, identified where it came from. And that can be helped in the communication, in conversation, by a healer. If you are so well trained, you will see for yourself. I can see sometimes moments for myself now, just by talking to myself, okay? Some people doing the journaling. I prefer talk to myself, like in my head when I'm dealing with something, mirror next to something. I'm talking and taking, and then quite often I'm talking to other coaches, my friends' coaches, or my own coach. Yes, I have my coach as well. And once looking at that, you're looking at that moment. And then what you do, there are a few ways of dealing. One way, you can do in meditation and bring the light. So the light for example, in that case would be to my brother, to my mom, and to myself. Or you can repeat, for example, I'm forgiving you, I'm forgiving yourself, I'm forgiving you, and keep going with that forgiving till your voice stops shaking, till that's good to have a listener in that moment, because the listener will hear what happened there. And for me, it took ages to discover that moment, because silence is something what you not normally do when you do communication courses. Yes, we know that silence is certain communication as well. But then when I treat it more and more than moment, it stopped taking power away from me. Then I've noticed that this is another speculation of that. This is another variation of that moment, was that actually I was also healing collective traumas, which was my grandmother show up in my life, like suddenly she passed away a long time ago. But somebody was not in communication with me. I started rocking, like I said, oh, what's going on? My friend said, that's all program, set it up. We're going to talk next week. And I'm like, no, what's going on? I was talking to myself, what's going on? I started rocking. And at that moment, I remember, I started doing this, by the way. Okay. At that moment, that was my grandmother. My grandmother was waiting for my granddad. He was not in communication. There was no phone. So she was sitting in silence, quite often doing nothing, rocking, like doing with the fingers and rocking. And she would wait for him and wait and wait and wait. And suddenly I felt like pain all of these women waiting for husband to come back home from war, from anything, come back home. They were sitting, powerless, no food sometimes. They couldn't sort out food for children. They feel hopeless. And they didn't do anything, they were waiting. And I promise you, if you're waiting for also your masculine energy. When I discovered that grandma moment, I started trusting my masculine energy. I started generate like business mom started growing, because now I trusting my masculine energy. I'm not waiting for masculine energy come back to me. I have masculine energy. So that's very important to heal those traumas. If you want to talk about your traumas, on my program I'm doing, I don't want you to enroll in the program. Let's talk. Let's have a look if it's something what you want to do. And traumas are very powerful. They can take a lot of self-expression from you. Self-love, definitely self-love. Like aliveness. I've got many more traumas, as well, physical abuse, trauma as well. So I do understand traumas. Okay, I do understand. I can feel them, and I can guide you to lead you right to that spot, that moment. We can reconstruct that moment, send the love, and the power is taken away. And there's other exercise to do. Just make sure, because once you take one piece of that story out, another piece of story of that, another piece of story, something else may show up, something small. For example, the door were closed. And that moment when I was abused, the door were closed, somebody closed the door. And for me, you know who was doing this? My husband was doing this in my marriage. He was locking the door, like communication stopped. We're not going to talk about that. And he was either leaving the house or closing the door. Can you imagine? I create that traumas over and over again. I repeat certain traumas for over 30 years, some of them 40 years. Oh, well, I stopped around 38 when they were. They still may show up. But I have power to deal with that. I can see this is not my blind spot. I'm not going to crash that car anymore on myself, on my life, on that blind spot, because I know where it's coming from. Okay, ladies, this is very important. Deal with the childhood traumas. Find somebody who can support you, because you don't want to repeat that traumas over and over again. Plus, you're responsible to take this trauma, to heal this trauma for all collective. We are here to heal. We are the queens of the queens. cream of the cream, however you say it. It's like we are it. So please do not suffer in silence. Speak up.